Hi there, my name is Kendrick, and today I get to have Carlos back. So, Carlos, welcome back, dude.
Hey guys, good to be back.
So, Carlos, can you please let everyone know what your type is again?
I'm an INTJ in objective personality. It's an audio NIFI sleep blast play, and I recently got my social type back as well. So
All right. If you want, we can save that for later as like a
okay, yeah,
surprise.
that's fine. Sure. Give y'all some time to couch type me before I give it away, but
Yeah, that
it's in the
sounds great.
Airtable, so
Yeah, it'll probably be also in like this the headline, so people know
oh
already.
really? Oh well, yeah, it doesn't not that big a deal. That's all right. I'll keep my
But
secret
if,
though.
if they're
Don't wait.
consumed last, then maybe. But then
Maybe
again,
they can have some
they
fun.
wouldn't be watching this if they're consumed last. Um,
Possibly, yeah.
So, anyways, dude, so let's talk about your journey working on your SF consume last there at the bottom. And your consume last is double masculine. So,
Yeah.
what has been your experience like since our last interview, or first interview, which was years ago? Have you
Um,
made any headway in that department, or how do you feel about it now?
you know, you're always gonna have that whatever your that kind of weakness. So I still have some of the same problems. I'm not really looking at myself, not consuming for myself. But the tribe will gently course correct you as you need. And Yeah, hard to get too specific, without giving just a whole bunch of, just personal history and stuff. So I don't know how much detail you want there, but yeah, I don't know. Do you want like ST details of what I've been doing the past couple of years? Is that what you're looking for, or are you just because
It's
otherwise I'm just going to give you some crappy NT blast. So
Yeah, dude, no, that's so funny that you mentioned that because like I totally get you, being lead intuition. It's like, do people really want to hear the whole sensory stuff? But the answer is actually yes, people want to hear it. I want to hear it. So
okay,
let's hear your SF consume story.
my SF consume story. Okay, well I'll try to give some sensory detail. I let's see, a few years ago, I was working as at a fairly large church in the area as a music director. If y'all didn't know, I'm a musician. Played piano for like 30 years. And I It was a great job, very intense job. And it just became a lot. It was working a lot during the week and lots of long hours. Not much of a weekend. There's always a project, multiple services. Was running multiple bands, and just doing all kinds of programs all the time. When COVID hit, I kind of backed away from it. Like a lot of people, I had a lot of time to reflect and think about what I was doing. Backed away, and I think it was around that period when I did my first interview with you, Kendrick. And in that time, uh, I've actually gotten married. I met somebody on the Discord server, which is crazy. We met, never stopped talking. She's actually here now. Yeah, we got married last year. We have a kid. I have a boy named Emerson. Um, he's probably double masculine something, but you know, uh, yeah. So it's been quite the journey. It's been a lot of fun.
Wow,
At some point
congratulations, by the
along the
way.
yeah, thank you. Yeah, it's been great. So um yeah, anything more? That's probably more overview than specific detail, but I think that gives at least a starting point.
All right.
Consume last. How does consume last relate to that?
Well, yeah, no, for sure. I mean, it's cool that you gave us an update. That's really cool. And you met your person from that. Is it an OPS Discord server that you met this person?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So she's a community member then. That's cool.
Yeah.
Did you get type?
Yes. Yeah.
Is she like an
You
EP?
want to do you want to know her? No, she's not an EP. She is OE, but
Oh, okay.
um she's an INFP, double feminine, consume play sleep.
Do I know her?
You probably crossed paths with her at some point. But she hasn't done any interviews or anything. Actually, I think she might be down to do an interview if you want to talk to her. We might set that up later or something if you
Yeah,
like. But
100%. I'm
yeah,
definitely interested. But you know what's funny?
yeah,
What's funny, dude, is Dave's first wife was an INFP also.
I've
Yeah.
heard. Yeah,
So I
but
think it's interesting that you also ended up in an INFP.
aren't you also? Are you also married to an INFP?
Well, I'm not married. I have a girlfriend of like 10 years, almost 11, and
Oh,
she's
long term.
she's
She's
an INTJ.
oh, okay, I
Yeah,
gotcha.
yeah. I'm in like the stereotypical ENFP INTJ relationship, and
Is she an NF INTJ?
yeah, and she's like the blast last version of you, and like
Okay,
double feminine, like sleep
yeah.
consume, play blast.
That NF is real attractive. What can I say?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm with one. I'm in one. Um, so for sure. Um, but that's kind of interesting too because you're both DI. So it's like like who's playing the tribe above self role here because someone has to do it, right?
Um, so we split responsibilities. There, I tend to do more of the work stuff, and she handles more with Emerson right now. But around the house, we try to split things. I do more of the repair things. She does more of the organizing, um, and just kind of where do things go, keeping things in order, uh, stuff like that. So, what would be an example? She, kind of maintains like the bedroom space and make sure everything is nice and stuff in there. And then when our dog digs through the fence, I go repair the fence. Like that's the kind of crap that I do. So
I see. Yeah. Well, that's
yeah,
cool. That's cool. That's you're using your SE there for sure. So that's really good to hear that. Um,
yeah, and it's helpful because she'll, be like, Carlos, the dog escaped again. We got to fix it, and
yeah.
then it's it's I know it's time to fix the fence. So no, but it's yeah, it's very helpful. It's nice uh having someone that's aware of opt to kind of intercept and consume. So she definitely does most of the consume. I'm leaning on her big time for that.
And
So
you guys also speak the same language. You're both lead NFs, right? So you guys have the exact same,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
language. So it's gonna be smooth when you guys talk because you'll get each other, right?
Sometimes also we both suck at ST, so when we're trying to say something specific, sometimes we talk past each other. Um, like a really silly example is like she'll say, or even I do it too, like, hey, can you grab Emerson's burp cloth from the bedroom? And I'll be like, oh, where is it in the bedroom? Oh no, it's in Emerson's bedroom. Oh, cool. Where in Emerson's bedroom? Oh, it's in the his armoire, his the drawers. Well, okay, which drawer? Like, and it's just like a battle to figure, for us to narrow down and get to that
Yeah.
ST. Um, so yes, yeah, we have lots of great conversations, but the ST is a bit of a struggle sometimes, but
Yeah, dude. And I was thinking about it. You guys also have NT as your second animal, like um, and you both have the same demons, like the SF and ST are both your demons. So
yeah, yeah,
yeah, you guys are like the pure-blooded, like intuitive types.
yeah. It's funny. I think her consume is also double masculine. Yeah, her consume is double masculine as well. So, but
Right. And then you have double feminine blast. So that's kind of like the opposite. Yeah.
yeah, we both kind of noodle around stuff a lot. So that's all right.
What's her social type, by the way?
What is my social type?
No, hers.
Her social type.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess it's on the air table. She's a 3.
A three. Okay. So we'll talk about yours later because it's interesting to see that kind of like social type pairing. Um,
Okay.
but anyways, that's cool, man. Thanks for sharing those that yeah, your SF consume story there. Uh people got it's good because people get to know you more. Like they'll know more about
Yeah.
instead of just like what's
Yeah.
Carlos talking
It's
about?
it's hard, So when I talked about because when we did our social types, we did not type ourselves correctly. Dave, I know Dave and Chan have said that a lot of people are getting their social types right. We didn't. And one of the problems that we ran into was um, we had a really hard time pinning down what behaviors were caused by saviors, what behaviors were caused by animals, what behaviors were caused by social types. And pinning those specifics down is really, really tricky. Like that's some Dave Dave refers to it as expert shit. So it's not easy um for sure. So, I might be telling you my consume last story, but um I, it's really hard to say what in my life is consume last because it's something I'm truly not very conscious of on a day-to-day basis. I know of it in theory, but I can only kind of fumble around and then after the fact maybe be like, oh yeah, that was a consume last moment. Like I should have. Amber probably has more consume last stories about me than I do, honestly, because I'm like, "Oh, I don't know,
Okay.
I just like did the thing."
Yeah, I want to hear that. That sounds interesting. I want, yeah, it's always cool to have like the couples. Like I remember, I don't know if you saw my interviews with Nathan and his wife Wendy, and they kept like invading each other's interviews and stuff just to like throw
Oh,
dirt,
that's really funny.
just to throw
That's really
dirt at each
funny.
other. It's like when one person's talking about like, let's say they're demons, and then they don't want to reveal the bad things. That the other person would jump in the camera and be like, actually, this is actually what's happening, and the person looks like embarrassed as hell. So
Oh my gosh.
so
Um, I'll tell you what. Okay, here's a consume last thing. So I'm double masculine SF consume.
right.
I have a really hard time picking a show and staying with it because I'll watch like two episodes and then I'm like, nah, this is dumb. I don't like it. And I'm out. I have no desire to consume any further. And Amber's like, dude, what the hell? We're committed now. I need to watch the whole thing. Like I liked it. It was fine. Like I gotta keep going. But I've done that on like 4 or 5 shows in a row. Her consume is she wants to consume and she wants to consume it with me. So like she doesn't want to watch the show unless I watch the show too. But then I'm like, no, I don't watch the show. You can watch it, like it's fine. And she's like, no, you're ruining it. Like you have to like, this
Yeah.
is how the consume goes. And I'm like, that's not how my consume goes. Like I don't want to.
That's
So
funny.
um that's yeah, Peaky Blinders we watched like one season and then I dipped and that's you know it but I might go back and watch it. I don't know. But yeah, there's a funny example.
You is it you don't want to watch it because it's boring, or you don't want to watch it because you don't like consuming? Like,
I'm just a moody, picky little girl, honestly, about my shows and stuff like that. I'll watch something. It's hard for me to watch a lot of something unless I'm really into it. Like I'll watch an episode and then I'll kind of be turned off by that for days, weeks, months.
oh, I see. Because you have consumed last, so it's super like narrowed in. Like it's just like a very narrow box.
If it's not perfectly in the box, it'll take me a while to get to it. Yeah.
I see. Okay, gotcha. Well, at least you're aware that you're doing this. So,
Yeah, yeah. But
all right, dude, let's jump into your social type. So, let's do the reveal here, even though people probably already know. But what's your social type?
I'm a social type 4. I'm a number 4.
Okay, and then how did you feel about it, like knowing that that's your social type?
So I thought I was a 3, and Amber thought she was a 4 or a 2. So we both kind of got them backwards. I was surprised, um, for sure, to say the least. I did not think I was a 4 at all. So there.
What was the explanation to how you
So
were a four?
I am. I'd consider myself someone that's very polite, and I do get along with people when I need to in work settings and whatnot. But I'm not. I don't go out of my way to build friendships. It's something. Um, Maybe it's just my particular. Although my type twins, some other people that I've talked to are not this way. I just for me the sleep far overpowers my desire relationships and friendships in general. So the idea, so when I heard friends, the word friends doesn't really feel like it applies to me, but it doesn't, um, even though social type 4 is like nicknamed friends, it doesn't mean specifically you have lots of friends. Because I didn't consume that, but you know.
So you do have friends that you keep in touch with. It's just a smaller circle.
Like one or two, not really. We have a group of people that we get together with once a week, but I wouldn't say that I'm not contacting them outside of our meeting. I'm not really, and they're also work friends. So, if I hadn't worked with them, I wouldn't be going out of my way to hang out. There wouldn't be much there. So all of my friends have mostly come from either work or some kind of hobby that I happen to be into at the time. So
So
I was thinking that's more of a three
right, it
kind of
is.
thing.
So how did you end up
Yeah.
before then?
Um, so ultimately, Dave kind of walked me through um, his process a little bit in that I am not necessarily hiding behind this is my identity as far as like a work or profession. Um, and that my uh, oh gosh, I'm kind of ruining his explanation. He gave us a lot more than he needed to. A ton of really good explanation and insight into it. But basically that, yeah, I'm not hiding behind work, that I'm not missing specialize, um, but that I do not prioritize work over friends and family. Work for me is a means to an end. And that mindset he thought was closer to a 4 than a 3.
Did that resonate
So
with you then? Where
that
work is a means to an end?
that makes a lot more sense. Yes,
Oh,
that
I see. Okay.
explanation. That's what made it click for me. That okay, I will specialize so that I can relax and have time with, not necessarily have time with friends, but be able to you know, relax and do my thing. Have time with Amber and Emerson and do what I need to do. So for me, the word friends doesn't quite encompass it. I think for other people it works really, really well.
Right.
But for me, it's more of a like a, do I have personal harmony? Do I have relaxed time? I guess the opposite of flex is relax. Jesse was told us that. So for me, it's more about being able to relax and not having to worry about all the dumb crap that comes up, having enough money to enjoy my time. So
Oh, really? Is that a thing then? Like the relax thing is part of the four? Wanting to relax?
no, that's just kind of so Jesse from the Discord kind of threw that out as a suggestion.
Oh, I see.
But
Okay.
that's what it feels like to me. So this is all just my personal, I'm not speaking for Dave and Shan. Um, this is just my personal thing. Just because the other fours seem to have a lot more friends, and to prioritize relationships a lot more than I do. I'm kind of an outlier. So
Well, one of the cross checks for four is fours like to chase their interests and hobbies as opposed to the actual work. So that the interests and hobbies come before that work. So do you see
yeah,
yourself doing that? Like you're chasing your hobbies and interests, in a more chill state, obviously.
um, like my so before so yes and no. When I've had regular jobs, when I'm on the clock, I'm on the clock. I'm not, off playing chess or just messing around. I'm working and the job comes first when, to me that's more of a maturity thing. But when it comes to my free time, I will do as much as I can to do the things that I love and things that I want to do. Um, and I will calculate, okay, what work do I need to do so that I can set myself up, um, to have more time. Like, so been very careful about saving and investing, and I want to retire early, and um, I I want to work as literally as little as possible to be set up for the future.
It's interesting that you mentioned that, you're saving money and setting yourself for the future, because one of the problems that a lot of threes have, it's not all threes have this, by the way, but like a lot of them do have this kind of issue, is money, where they get a little bit irresponsible with the money stuff, because they have like responsibility last, essentially, because they're only responsible for one thing, right? But like if you were like a four, you're not missing responsibility. It's third, but it's not missing. So you would still be able to tap into that.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, that's an interesting cross check. Yeah, I haven't noticed about it. I just recently started kind of hopping on Discord after kind of a hiatus and talking with people and trying to figure this thing out. So
Yeah.
yeah, I hadn't heard that one. That's cool.
Yeah, it's something I've heard just recently as well. Just like not missing responsibility. So like the third social type, that's your third social type. It's the minor demon one. It's still activated, right? So it's not missing, because with your
Yeah.
animal snack, for example, your last, it's like the way David Chan refers to it is like, this is your first animal, second, third, and then your fourth, like boom, like just goes all the way down, right? So it's the same thing with like those social type or sexual modalities. It's like, first, second, third, and then drop off, right? So like if you're not missing the responsibility coin, which it doesn't sound like you are, that is a really good cross check. Um,
Interesting.
yeah,
Okay. Cool.
but it is interesting that you are a four though. I do see you as very friendly. Um, but I guess if you're not obsessed with the piano stuff, it's just like a job, then you know,
Yeah. Yeah. And there's other parts too, like um a double decider, feminine DE, like there's some other things going um that kind of our types in general, I think, are a little friendly, maybe pompous, but friendly.
I'm just thinking about Dave, because Dave is a two, so he loves friends, right? Like he'll say he hates people, but he actually loves people. And like
He's 100% kidding when he says stuff like that. He has been so kind. And if you
oh
guys have watched the live streams, they are being so nice to people. They are so nice to people. Oh my
yeah,
God.
yeah. Well,
Yeah.
no. I've met them in person, so I know I am aware.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm aware that
They're
they're nice.
they're
It's
they're
I
awesome.
understand that Dave's just talking shit when he says that.
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
anyways, I know Dave is like super friendly with people, like he loves people, right? And then I see my girlfriend, who also has like play as a demon, like Dave does, because it's third, right? Because my
Yeah.
girlfriend's deep consume, play blast, and my girlfriend loves people. She's like freaking like she'll tell me she doesn't want to hang out with people, and then like the moment people like ping her to go hang out, she's like right there right away, you know.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
Especially if they're inside her FI, then it's like, oh my God, I cannot wait to like chat with this person. She'll still flake on them when she feels like, because she's still a demon play, but like, you know,
Yeah, there's times the sleep will kick in, but
yeah, yeah. So that's what
cool.
I'm wondering in your case, like, when people ask you to hang out and stuff, when like do you, and that person is in your FI, how
My personal
exciting.
rule is that if people are asking me to hang out, I have to say yes 1 out of 3 times.
Okay,
Otherwise, they tend to stop asking. So, but when I do hang out, we go pretty hard. So, um,
you have a
that's
quota. That's funny.
yeah.
Oh, dude, that makes perfect sense, because the fact that you even have a rule to say yes means you do care about relationships. Because see, if you didn't, you wouldn't even like create that. Like, you wouldn't even worry that
Yeah.
they will stop asking. That they'll stop asking.
Yeah, I mean that's I guess you can say that, but there's also like a minimum effort that you need to put in if you want to like have somebody to hang out with at any point in time ever. You can't just ignore them for like years and then go to like, hey dude, like let's go hang out. What you been doing? You're like, what?
But dude,
Why haven't you?
the fact that you're thinking about that means
Yeah.
that you want to have those relationships, because like the fours or the three, sorry, and the ones, they don't even think about that, unless like for the ones, for example, this relationship, unless it like um what's the word I'm looking for here? unless it catapults them to a higher level of status, then the friendship, it would serve them no purpose and it's time to move on, right? Because like I've
Yeah.
interviewed some number ones who said that friends is a means to to go higher, right? And once that person is no longer serves their needs, they're disposable for the next person. I know it sounds horrible, but like, and the threes, they just don't even think about it, you know? So, um, so the fact that you're even thinking about it, even though it's like still a demon, it's like kind of signals
Oh,
you being a four.
maybe. Yeah, maybe. Um, I haven't thought about that. I'll have to sit and sleep on that one. But yeah, that's an interesting point. I know my one really good friend we think is some kind of play consume SEFE kind of guy. I don't know, maybe cranked up or whatever, but he's hilarious. He pokes me all the time. He would find that really hilarious that you said that. Like, you said no twice, but you're thinking about me. I know it. So he's uh yeah.
Okay, okay, that's cool. Um, what about the specialization part? So you thought you were specialization first, but turns out you're second. So it's still really strong, and you still
Yeah.
honing craft, obviously. Can you talk about the process where um you put a lot of thought and effort into really getting good at you know your craft? In your case, piano.
Well, I mean, if I'm gonna take up a hobby or do anything, I'm gonna be investing time. And if I'm gonna be investing time, uh, if I'm gonna spend a lot of time doing something, I don't want to spend a lot of time doing something that I suck at. Uh, so I want to be good. So as a kid, I learned piano. Like my mother played and my grandmother played. We always had a piano in the house, and so my learning was pretty accelerated. Um, but early on, let's see, in sixth grade, we had the option to join band, and I had already been playing piano for like 4 years. And they're like, "Hey, why don't you join band? Like it'll be so fun and could do this." And I'm like, "I don't want to learn another instrument. You can't play piano in band." And so I just like stayed with piano, and then I ended up joining the choir because I could play in the choir, not have to sing, and I would get an easy A. So
Oh,
um,
I see. So that's how it's.
specialize, man. There's great joy in being really good at something. Same thing with chess. Like I don't like losing at chess. I like crushing people. That's, I want to be as good as I can. So I work on, if you're going to do it, if you're going to get better at anything, you have to take specific steps and work on things that you suck at and make them things that you're good at.
I remember Dave saying something about along those lines for like number fours where they'll get hyper competitive about like games, So you're in your case, your arena's chess, So
Yeah,
like
Dave talked about that one with me. Like I don't have drive, I don't have that one like I'm gonna kill you in every aspect of life, but when if you move a chess piece in front of me, like you have my attention and I'm coming for you. Like that's where all of my I feel myself getting revved up right now talking about chess.
yeah.
But like that's kind of where it all goes. Like it just kind of starts and ends right there and then I'm done. Um but yeah. Um and ironically I cannot talk about chess, but most of my best consume is has come from music and chess. The times where I've really forced myself to work on getting better and worked on new things is when I've improved the most. So yeah.
Since you're a four, your last social type would be flex. So can you talk about, lack of drive for like competition and also the not like everything's real to you as opposed to like where number one's everything is essentially a stepping stone to higher status essentially.
Yeah. Um, I don't know. I can it's hard for me to say like what is real for me. I can to me like looking at the ones, uh Benjamin was telling me about this. Like the ones just seem kind of like comic book characters, like crazy. Like you see them, like I see them operating, and I see the things that they get upset and worked up over and what they're going after. And in my mind, I'm just like, if you get everything that you ever wanted, you're still going to be absolutely miserable. Like I don't see that as a happy route. Like you're not gonna, you can win and still lose. Like it seems, it just seems like they're drive a lot of time. Like stereotypically, I'm sure there's lots of happy ones, and you're not doomed to sadness if you're a one at all. But the idea of like stepping on people and relationships aren't real, and I have to be on top. Like, what does that even mean? Like people say you're the best. Like you just got like 3 seconds of joy out of that. You're the best. Oh, thanks. I built my whole life around that 3 seconds. Like, really? What a fucking waste, man. like I'll you can have the 3 seconds and I'll have the rest of my life where I'm doing whatever the heck I want without the tribe looking at me. I don't know. It's just um it just seems crazy.
Yeah, it feels dirty chasing external validation because that's essentially what a one's doing, right? Uh,
That's what it seems like. Yeah. Maybe it's personal for them. Maybe it's internal, like, like Rocky on his mission, like I have to win, I have to win, I have to beat this guy. I'm gonna prove to everyone that I can do it. And then you can be an inspiration. Like there is a place for ones. Um, but your typical one out and about just it just seems like a sad reason to exist. Oh, that's harsh. I'm sorry, ones. They
well,
don't care. They don't care if I'm sorry.
yeah, no, they don't care. But like, well, one is and fours are like arch enemies supposedly, right? Best friends and arch enemies. But anyways,
Oh, really? I thought ones and fours always hooked up and hung out and
yeah, they're best friends and arch enemies. So you either are friends with the one of the ones, or the people that like rub you wrong way are ones. So it's kind of like that.
oh, interesting.
Just like me, so I'm a two. So my best friend and arch enemy are the threes, right? And it's like, I either love the tree or I hate this tree. Just like but anyways,
Huh. Are you too? I didn't know
yeah,
that.
I got type as a two. Yeah, just like
Oh, cool.
just a week ago. Yeah,
Nice, nice, nice.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. People thought I was four for the longest time, and I told Dave in my docs, I was like, yeah, that's because I am play, blast, consume, sleep. Those are my animal stack, and play is with friends. Blast is specialization. Consume is responsibility, and one um is flex, right?
Yeah.
So
So you
my
seem more
animal
four
stack
like.
my animal stack is a straight flush four, but I'm not a four because it was a cognitive dissonance when I heard that it doesn't feel right. And then when Dave did a deep dive in my videos, he's like, "Oh shit, you are a two," you know. you know.
Awesome. Awesome. Yeah, I definitely would have thought friends. So
No,
when
no,
that happens for
two is
sure.
high friends. I'm high friends, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
it's not
Nice.
that that's why they thought it was two and four for the longest time because the high friends was definitely there, like no mistaking. Um, but anyways, I want to go back to to you, the demon flex and the number four and the one relationship and whatnot, and like
Yeah.
what we were just talking about a second ago. So, Jeff Bezos went on his first ever podcast ever. He doesn't do interviews because he's play last and he's in number one, right?
Yeah. Oh gosh, he was on Lex Friedman, huh?
Yeah, he was. Yeah, and then I think I've watched about 33% of it right now, so I'm still chipping away. But like, so the one thing I noticed about Jeff Bezos is, a lot of people get mad at Amazon because, and him specifically, because how poor
Oh
they
yeah.
Amazon workers and stuff.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
but during the interview, if you really get into the psyche of Jeff Bezos, because he really explains like his thought process and stuff. He said things like, um, he wants to make space colonies essentially with a blue origin. Um, and he wants to do like space mining and all that stuff. And ultimately, his goal, and this is gonna sound really crazy, his goal is to have so many human colonies across space, and there's gonna be trillions of humans in existence. And out of those
Yeah.
trillions of humans, he said those trillions of humans will produce like 1,000 Beethovens, 1,000 Mozarts, 1,000
Yeah.
each of like the number one.
That's yeah. I
And
saw that comment popping up on Reddit. Yeah.
yeah,
So
and like, and he, pretty much also like, for human to survive, they would need to not just have Earth, right? Um,
yeah, no,
so
he's right.
he's thinking, and then he also said he's saving planet Earth because the whole goal of space colonization is to move all the industrial production into space so it doesn't hurt planet Earth. So that way we can preserve Earth because him and Lex, when they discussed it, they said that there's only one Earth. They've explored multiple planets. There's no planet that can come close to how awesome Earth is for sustaining life. Like there is no other ones that have been found to be this perfect. So we have to protect it because it's the only one, right? Um, so when I see his thought process, I'm like, oh, I see. He's thinking far into the future. He's thinking about mankind as a whole. And for
Yeah.
him, those poor Amazon workers, unfortunately, would have to be sacrificed in order to get this
It,
greater good for the whole humanity.
sacrificing the thousands for the trillions. But
Right.
hey, yeah,
Exactly. Sacrifice the Amazon workers for the trillions. And when I
yeah,
heard that, I was like, he's not wrong. It sounds horrible, but he's not wrong at the same time. Like, and also if you work in Amazon, like you don't have to work there. You can quit. You can find another job. You can move to a different city. Um,
yeah. Years ago, I read, I think it was 10 Signs of a Sociopath or something like that. And they were talking about the old school way of thinking is that like either you're a sociopath or you're not. And then the guy kind of submitted the idea that it's more of a sliding scale, it's more of a spectrum of sociopathy, and that corporate execs tend to rate very highly on that because it makes them very good at their job because they have to make difficult decisions like that. Um, so I wonder how well the poor ones correlate with that scale, but um, it is a needed function to move the needle forward. If you're weighed down by, um, it sounds so messed up to say, but if you're weighed down by empathy, you may not be able to. Yeah, you just maybe it's a bit of a handicap. Um,
yeah,
but God, still no. Yeah, it's interesting to think about. It is definitely not. I can look at that and say, I don't want to do that. I can joke about that all day long because it's hilarious, but
yeah,
like that is not my um yeah, that's not my game. So,
yeah. I can relate to you. I would feel really bad if I had to do that, and I don't have the guts to you know
I don't
make
know.
them suffer.
Elon Musk is it too. He's moving the needle forward too. He's doing what needs to be done.
That's
So
true, but he's still like hanging out with people. He's playing Diablo 4 for God's sake. You know?
that is true. Yeah.
Yeah, like so
That's a great game by the way.
yeah, I haven't played it
So
yet, but so um eventually. But so it's kind of interesting that sacrifices has to be made. Um, let someone suffer for the greater good of humanity in the long term, you know. So but and I watch it because like where I live right now, I see people having what do you call those things when like you have a union and everyone's like walking out and stuff and they have like pickets and stuff. What do you call that again? Like, and they're trying to get like a better,
a strike?
yeah, strike, I guess you could say, like a strike so that you can get a higher wage and all the good stuff and stuff. And
Yeah.
yeah, so like near where I live, there's like a hotel. It's like a Marriott hotel. All these people have been strike for like a year now. They're sitting outside in the cold all year long, picketing. And I'm thinking to myself, you wasted 1 year of your life sitting here, hoping that the corporation will give up and like give you a bigger wage. Why don't you just get another job? That's like my thought process at number.
Yeah.
But like maybe if you were like a 3 or 4, or maybe just a 4, I don't know. Like maybe you feel helpless in that situation. Like you feel like you need to rise up to, the evil corporate god king or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't
Or
know.
I don't know what kind of labor union contract they signed. Maybe they have to. But yeah, I don't claim to pretend to know how all that works, but it's yeah, my first thought would also be to just go get another job instead of waiting. That seems a little counterproductive. But again, like I don't want to stand out in the cold, so I'm not.
Yeah. That's why you teach a piano.
That's why I teach piano inside. Got
Yeah.
a fireplace and everything.
Yeah. Oh man. Okay. I feel like maybe it's more like an EJ thing, potentially, to
Fight the good, fight
fight
the
for
good
what's
fight.
fair. Yeah, fight
Yeah,
for what's fair. Yeah. Yeah. Maybe if you're like a DI number 4, you're like, that's too uncomfortable for me. I'm just not gonna participate.
yeah.
Yeah. Or maybe it could be like people who are like high intuition might not participate because you're because you as an intuitive, don't you think like several steps ahead? Like if I did this is the consequence. So why would I do that, right? You know?
Uh, Maybe in the best case scenario, I'm thinking several steps ahead. Most of the time, I'm just like not thinking about the wall that I'm walking into. Um, so
Well, not
there's,
the physical world, but you're thinking about
yeah,
like yourself. Like
yeah, yes, possibly, possibly. Either way, I'm not picketing in the cold. Yeah,
okay, well that's cool. I mean, it's just a good cross check because I'm like, hearing from your perspective. You're number 4, but you're like a DI, IJ, you know. Um, so all right, cool, man. What about the demon responsibility? So you have it third, so it's not missing. Um, it's they're rebranding it now as generalist as opposed to responsibility because
yeah,
they see number 2 as being responsible for a bunch of stuff, but at a shallow level, well,
yeah.
3s and 4s are responsible at a deep level, right? So, but just at one thing, right? So how do you see that? Because someone in the community said something really interesting about the third, the second and the third social type. They see it as almost like double deciding, but like double social type. So you can double decide um specialization and being a generalist essentially. Almost like, maybe like 60-40 or maybe 70-30. How do you feel about that being a generalist responsibility coin um in tandem with your specialization?
Um, so between the last time we talked, I actually spent a year working as a manager, bartender, and then a manager at Buffalo Wild Wings. And I've thought about that. I So for me, the generalist stuff, I'm not sure if it's just like double deciding because maybe it is, maybe it isn't. I have to look at a whole bunch of see if that's really a pattern that's coming up. But for me, doing things outside of my specific manager responsibilities, like I would do them, but they're not necessarily things that I'm going to enjoy doing. But if I know some, if it falls under the umbrella of my specialization, I'm going to do it. If I know it needs to be get done. So, example, my store title, I am supposed to run the store. I close the store. I have to make sure the store is clean. Ideally, I would get the servers or the bartenders to clean all of their stuff, right? But at the end of the night, if they miss something and then I miss something before they leave, it is now my responsibility to clean it, um, and make sure it's clean if you want to do a good job before the next shift comes in the morning before you leave. There are a lot of managers who do not. Um, they will say, nope, they X servers did not do this. Um, Therefore, I am not responsible. See you later. I'm clocking out. Um, I'm not sure. Yeah, I don't know. I don't like to be responsible for things outside of what I have to do. Like if my buddy's car breaks down or something, I'm not gonna be the I'm gonna try to not be the first one to run out and go try to fix it or something. I'm not. Um, I definitely. Well, let's see. Yeah, I mean, I'll tend to put stuff off until I absolutely have to. Um, so yeah,
So it sounds like you would do it reluctantly, but it's not like something that you would want to do if you don't have to. Um,
right,
but
right,
it's not like a hard no, like a 3 would. It's like no, I'm not gonna do it. For you, it's like
yeah,
a reluctant yes. You know, a very
Um,
very reluctant yes. If you
okay,
have
ST
to.
example, Amber's car, one of the tires had a slow leak. And I instead of taking it to get patched right away, there's like a gas station right down the road that has a free air fill up, and we probably did that like 10 times before we're finally like, shit, let me just go get the tire patched. And then they're like, of course, oh, we need to replace the tire. I'm like, God dang it. Okay. So then fixed it. But the the solution was let's do the easiest thing first and just like get it out of the way while we go do other things. We'd be like, oh yeah, let's go to the store. Oh wait, our tire's like halfway deflated. Ah, dang it. Okay. Let's just go, we'll just go get it filled up for a minute for free and then we'll be on our way. So yeah.
Damn, it's hard because you and your wife have demon responsibility. So,
Neither one of us are that excited about doing that. So
oh my God. And then you have to do it because then you have it activated at least, you know? So,
well, I mean, we also have a 4-month-old, and so her, he breastfeeds exclusively. So
right, that makes sense. She has to
it's
specialize in
she
that.
is usually not practical for, well, I mean, I would specialize in breastfeeding if I could, but my boobs are too small,
Yeah.
so um no, it's just the way the responsibilities are divided, it doesn't make much sense for her to go do that and drag Emerson, get him in the car and then get him his thing and then take him over, whereas I can just hop in the car and go over. So that's
Imagine you see like a number.
regardless of our type, that's a pretty normal uh division of duties.
Imagine you're like a number two mom. She's like breastfeeding while like getting the tire fix and like doing other stuff at the same time, you know? Like just like
Yeah, maybe, I don't know. Our boy is pretty particular though. It can be tough to get him.
yeah.
Uh, yeah.
All right.
So
All right, Carlos. I think I've asked you all the questions I wanted to ask you. Is there anything else that you wanted to bring up before we wrap up this interview that we haven't discussed? Something that you want people to learn about you, your journey so far, something that you've noticed about your type, anything at all that is type related that you want to bring up?
no, just that we have a pretty great community in general. I definitely encourage you guys to you know, I don't know about the Facebook group right now, but definitely the Discord. There's lots of great people. And yeah, join the class and get typed if you haven't done it yet. It's well worth it. So yeah, that's it. There's my plug.
All right,
Go
dude.
make friends. Go make friends and join the tribe.
That's awesome. All right. Thanks, Carlos. I gotta go to work now, so we'll just wrap this up now. So, thanks for coming back and sharing more about your life, and we'll get in touch about potentially having your wife come in for an interview as well.
Awesome. Awesome, dude. All right, man. You take care. I'll see you later.
All right. Bye bye.
Bye.